Hello, Lone. Welcome to part 4 and the final part for the Sorceress class of Rags to Riches. This will kind of wrap up the last 3 videos. We went through Normal and Nightmare with the Sorceress. We leveled up, changed to Meteor, went into Hell difficulty, and kind of buzzed through there. We self-farmed an Anilus and a Torch, and we started going into mapping on day number 2, which was part 3. I know that's a little confusing. But on day 2, we started going into mapping. We tried different builds from every skill tree. We tried Lightning and Nova for Lightning, which weren't that effective with a full Tal set. And we tried Frozen Orb and Ice Barrage. Ice Barrage wasn't very good. Frozen Orb was amazing, was the best performing build on the day 2 type gear that we had. No Infinity, just full Tals. And we tried Combustion as well, which was super strong. We also tried Meteor, but mostly for act bossing, because farming maps with Meteor is just a bad experience. You don't want to do it. And that was kind of like our last 3 videos. This video will explore having an Infinity on the Mercenary. I know that for Lightning builds, having a self-wheeled Infinity is better, but I could only make one, and I chose to make the one that I'll use more. So with that in mind, kind of take that as a little grain of salt on our take on Lightning builds. Obviously, as I said in the last video, I'm not a person who usually plays Lightning builds. I just did it for the video, and I don't think I'll do it again after the videos. So whatever I said about Lightning, take it with a small grain of salt or a big grain of salt, whatever kind of salt that you're using. Take my statements with them. So with that said, let's get to the video. We started the day farming P8 bosses on Frozen Orb. We already showed us doing that with Meteor, but I just kind of wanted to show that Frozen Orb can also G-rush people. The main problem for Frozen Orb when you're G-rushing is that there are a lot of strictly cold immune stuff in the game that are really annoying to kill. So if you don't have any other source of damage, like a really strong mercenary, it might get a little bit difficult to clear. Unless you can pull drag waves maybe at Baal or things like that. If you have somebody who can kill Lord of Size, that would be good. But generally, yeah, you can see us clearing Mephisto really easily. We drop a unique amulet while doing so. So let's just check what it was. It was the High Lords. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and slam that. And it gets free mana after each guild. That's pretty valuable High Lords that you can sell for quite a bit, actually, early on. We go ahead and try to kill the P8 Baal. And P8 Baal, really strong build to clear it with, like Frozen Orb, doing really well here. We're only going back because we ran out of mana because he burnt our mana so much. But you can see us, we absolutely destroy a P8 Baal on the Frozen Orb. So I was really happy with that. After that, we went into maps with Frozen Orb 2. We actually did maps of all the tiers. I'm only showing the tier 1 maps because I actually bothered rolling them with similar stats between the classes. So they're more easily comparable versus the tier 2, tier 3 maps that we ran. But we ran the builds on tier 2s and tier 3s as well. It's just Frozen Orb was performing so well that I was just excited to play it a little bit more. And you can kind of see compared to day 2 where we were taking 4 or 5 minutes to maybe get to this half point ish of the map, here we're doing it 2.5 minutes, which is pretty massive in terms of speed. And we're still we're stopping to slammer stuff, we're stopping to identify stuff, we loot, we're not just rushing or anything. We're really just being fast just because of how much damage this build is doing. And the current gear that I was using, day 3 approach we had, is obviously having the Infinity change was big, but we also used Night Wings. We used an Ormus for Frozen Orb. Frozen Orb Ormus, I don't think it's that expensive from what I remember last season. It wasn't super heavily used. This one only has a 1 socket slam, so it's the worst slam possible pretty much. So this should be cheap to get. I didn't put a facet in it, so we don't have super good facets or anything that's making it strong. It's legitimately just a build. For gloves, we used Drax because we didn't need more FCR. Drax gives you a lot of life after each kill, which helps you sustain yourself. And you can see we finished this map in 6 minutes, and even probably a little bit less while doing all the looting. So sub 6 is always amazing time for early mapping, and I was really happy with how Frozen Orb was doing. Over here, we're doing Chain Lightning, again with Mana Shield on the free. This time we have the Infinity, we have a Griffin, a Mang Song for weapon, We were still using the Drax, I believe, for life after each kill. We might be using an FCR gloves. I don't remember, one of the two. We were using a Rax for belt, so we have pretty solid stuff, and we had an Ormus 4-chain lightning, so we pretty much got most of the gear correct. And you can see that like it definitely does a lot better than day 2 with the full towels. Getting here with the full towels took us, I think, like 5 or 6 minutes. Now it took us 2 minutes, so a lot better. But still, like energy shield felt a little bit clunky to me. Didn't feel amazing, and we did try other maps, of course, without the energy shield. I hope I'm not showing the entire map, just like maybe half of it, because yeah, it is still slower than the other maps, but we did get a lot better in terms of time. Oh no, we are showing the full map. Okay. Well, we did half of the map at like 3.5 minutes, so I guess it's not too terrible for like a day 3. I still feel like the lightning builds, and again, this might be my personal bias against them, they require more gear to make them work, and like better gear for them to feel like more smooth in the maps. I'm sure that like if you do LOD content with them, it doesn't feel too bad, especially since you'll be solo most of the time. But in the maps, they felt like a lot less strong than Combustion and Frozen Orb, which were kind of like the winners of Fire and Cold. But still, like, since we were like inexperienced with lightning, I felt like that would be good for me to finish a lightning map for the first time. The other ones I just quit on because they were so annoying. So this is like the first like full map that we ran on the lightning sorc, and maybe, just maybe, we were rewarded with a low rune and some beginner's luck. The game kind of recognized that we were newbies on this build, despite playing this game for like over 20 years. So I guess the game kind of was like, okay, you know what, you tried lightning. And we did ran this build in other maps, as you can see. This was the next map right afterwards, I believe. And as luck may have it, we definitely were getting some beginner's luck on this lightning build, because we dropped a Sewer rune right after that low rune drop. So 2.5 high runes on ladder, that would be, which is pretty awesome early on. Could definitely get you a big upgrade before like you get started. So that was really awesome to get. And as you can see, we're swapping to our Combustion build, and Combustion we're running this time with a Mang Song, similar to the Lightning. We run it with Drax for life after each kill. We had the Kiras. We didn't use any facets in the Kiras. We used the Viper Magi armor. No facets in the Viper Magi armor. So this is just like the raw damage that Combustion does. And you can kind of see the upgrade that Infinity does to you, because that's like the main change here for us. It basically means you don't have to cast Combustion twice on like tankier mobs, which is, it's just so huge to have that for Combustion. It saves so much time. You can see that like on the first day we played, we did Combustion, I think, in something like 9 minutes. On the second day with full towels, we did a 7-minute map, which was pretty good. Like, it wasn't bad at all. But you can see we're like 2.5 minutes in. We're already kind of like at the boss, cleaning him. Dropped like a nice double drop of melee shifter weapons with F-Edge and Executioner's Justice. It's a pretty cool drop. Shame I just finished my druid. And you can see we're still looting. We're finishing really fast. Really explosive damage on the Combustion sorc. So I could definitely say that like Frozen Orb and Combustion had like very linear progression, in like a good way, I would say, while playing and upgrading like gear pieces. So they feel very smooth to kind of like go into maps and farm with. Meteor was, of course, from day one amazing to farm with for boss act, and you can see we're doing a sub 6 minute mapping with our Combustion sorc. The Merc, of course, just wearing the Infinity and helping us a ton with it. And I think we go ahead and slam like the 2 weapons we got. The F-Edge just got life after each hit, which is it's just not very good slam. But we get 6 socket on the Executioner Justice, which by the way had perfect ED as well. What an amazing weapon. If this was ethereal, this would be GG type levels of unimaginable strength. So super cool weapon to drop. It might be the best melee weapon I had in my SSF run so far. So I was pretty excited with it. After doing all this mapping, we did a lot of mapping that day and experimented with different setups. We decided to try and do Ubers with the lightning as well, despite me not liking it. I just wanted to see how it performs, because I felt like I need to represent how Sorc will do in bossing scenarios. I wanted to record it for our DIY bossing series, just to kind of have like some pointers. And you can see that like the Merc like can tank for it pretty well. Still without like the self-wheeled infinity, you're still doing kind of okay. Killing Izzy wasn't like an issue, it wasn't like a problem. So I think we go ahead and kill Dewey afterwards. Yep, just searching for him. There he is, the little beetle. And Dewey, I think this was the first time that Dewey felt the easiest to kill out of the three. He was just dying really, really fast. I don't know if it was just like the luck of like the damage on lightning, since I know it has like a lot of variance. It might have been just us getting lucky, but wow, it killed him really fast. I never checked like the resistances on him. I usually do Ubers with physical builds in the first place. But yeah, this was really, really fast. I was really impressed with how fast that was. And yeah, you can see Lilith 2, like, not too much of a struggle. This is, of course, sped up, so it looks faster than it actually is. But still, like, only, like, having, like, our Merc die once is, like, pretty nice. We already almost finished her up. Yeah, we go ahead and kill Lilith as well. Let me skip, because I think we're just, yeah, just getting potions there. Oh, wait, I think I skipped too far forward. Okay. So we go ahead into Ubers, wearing Ashudas and the sorc word that we had. I just wanted to test like different weapons to the Mangsong and have like a little bit more resistances, mostly for Ubers. So the sorc word works really, really well for that. I felt like it was really nice to have. The lesser fade as well was kind of useful for the extra resistances and the PDR. So I was pretty happy with like how this performed. You can see I'm not using a lot of potions. 2 to 3 potions per Uber is really not bad performance. And while Diablo did kill our Merc pretty fast, so I recommend killing him last. Killing him was still very easy just because the Pit Lords were kind of like bouncing the Chain Lightning into him again and again. So that was the Uber's experience. We're now going to go ahead and do a declone kill on the lightning. Just like 1 kill every day was kind of like what I was going for. Just to again see like how capable these builds are with some early gear. Remember, before we go in, this is the part where I remind you that there's a bunch of free stuff you can do, like press like, subscribe, and follow on the Twitch that you can do for free. So hopefully you want to do that. It will help the channel, help me as a consequence. So that would be really nice of you to do, and I would really appreciate it. With that said, let's go over the gear we used. We had the Ashudas with FCR. The FCR doesn't really help us. We have the Griffins, which is really nice. We have the GA. It has Jazz in it. You don't have to put Jazz in your GA. Just put some rubies. The life will be enough from the rubies. Trust me. We have a pair of Lava Gouts with free to maximum fire. Lava Gouts can have up to 5, but these are the ones that we had. We have this String of Ears that has max 2. So you can kind of think of like the Lava Gouts as having max 5 and the String of Ears not having any slam if you want to. That would be fine. So this is still pretty budget. You don't have to buy crazy belts like this. We had this half freeze max to fire boots that we just found somewhere. So they were kind of nice to use. This like FHR, FCR, 2 to Sorceress, brilliant amulet craft. We crafted a bunch of amulets, and this is just like one of the ones that made sense in this fight. And the Spirit Ward, of course, that will give us a little bit more PDR, a little bit more all res. CTA on the Switch. We rolled CTA that day that rolled 6. That was really, really nice for us for the SSF. Bunch of skillers. None of them has crazy stats on them. Just like I think 22 total life on all the skillers. Like one with 16, one with 6. Some all res charms just to make sure we're capped and have like everything we need, and we don't get like one shot by anything. And a few lightning charms because I was missing some lightning. Yeah, that's how our gear is set up. Of course, there is no energy shield, no energy in my stats. I don't like the experience of energy shield, so that's kind of like I'm showing how I was mapping as well. All right, we go in, we cast our bow, we make sure to do static on declone, then we just bounce the lightnings off the pillars, This was actually way faster than I thought it would be. The lighting on the skeletons was a lot more effective than other builds were on the skeletons, so I was pretty happy with how it did. As you can see, we didn't use a lot of juice for phase 1. Did use more than Frozen Orb, despite Frozen Orb running worse gear, so I don't know, maybe that's something to think about. But we were doing okay overall in terms of like killing the skeletons. It felt fairly easy to do. It felt also relatively safe because I could just teleport around and like shoot from like one side of the screen, and the lightning for the most part made it and kind of like bounce around them. As you can see, we are losing a lot more health than we did on the Frozen Orb day though. So that is something to kind of keep in mind if you do want to be self-sufficient. Like Meteor, Frozen Orb, they did a lot better in terms of bossing. And yeah, you can see us phase 3, we just cleaned them all up in like a few lightnings. I guess I just got like good rolls on the damage there. I'm sure that if I had like a self-wheeled Infi, this would look a lot better. But remember, with self-wheeled Infi, you also need to get a lot more resistances from something else, because you don't have your shield giving you a ton of resistances. So there's like downsides and upsides. Obviously, this is like a lot cheaper to do as well than like a self-wheeled Infi. So really nice. We got it really fast, no troubles whatsoever. And this kind of wraps up. I'm pretty sure that was the last day. We kind of, oh right, I wanted to show the Annie that we identified. We ID a 10 EXP Annie, and when I saw it, I was like, okay, you know what, I have a few tainted wallstone shards, let me go ahead and slam this. Maybe we get a 15% EXP Anilus, which is like the one thing we don't have. So we go ahead and take a tainted wallstone shard, and you can see that our chatters were pretty split on whether we get it or not. And now our trust, and you always trust in this channel, we get the 15% EXP Annie. So now we have like 2 Scalar Annies, we have 15% Annies, we have high resistance Annies. Really happy with all the collection of Annies that we made up. But yeah, that's the wrap up for the Rags to Riches on the Sorceress. We covered everything that you need to know to get your character to whatever spec you need, to get through a normal Nightmare in Hell, to get your own Annie or your own torch on whatever skill tree you want to go for. Pretty much everything you need to know to become self-sufficient and also, a viable farmer. Whether you're G-rushing people or farming maps, farming act bosses, you now can be rich as the Sorceress as well. With that said, that's the wrap up for the series. 4 parts is enough in my opinion. We will come back with DIY bossing episodes for each skill tree that we covered, for 4 total builds on the Sorceress. So that will be like the upcoming videos where we can go down like talking a little bit more about like the pros and cons of these builds and what they need to kind of get into bossing. What was kind of like necessary for them. I also put a poll up. Today is the 6th of March. No, not March, April. 6th of April. So if you care which character we're going to do next after the Sorceress, I put up 3. The most suggested ones were Amazon, Necro, and Barbarian. I got like messages on these 3 the most. So if you care which one, go ahead and vote. There's still like 24 hours more. On the 7th, I'll already start leveling up the character that will be chosen. So if you want to know, if you want to be part of like deciding which one will be played, go ahead and put a little vote down. I appreciate all the comments. Thank you for participating in this, either on the Twitch or on the YouTube. And yeah, have a good whatever you're having. I'll see you on the next stream or in the next video. And bye.